How many years, for how long have you and the team at the Sharing Network, you and Joe Roth, we'll be talking to in a second, thinking and planning for these games?
It has been 5 years since we started talking about this back in Cleveland when the transplant games were there. So we started the idea there, and then we gathered our partners in 2017, a year later, and we all came together. And here we are finally, after the postponement from the pandemic, at the reimagined transplant games.
Tell folks who may not understand what these games are and why they're so important, why they are so important.
You know, there's 4,000 people waiting for a transplant here in New Jersey and 114,000 nationwide. So we really wanted to bring the transplant games here to New Jersey to shed the light on that, make some bigger noise about that, get people talking about organ donation and thinking about whether or not they want to become an organ donor.
So as the Sharing Network information is right on the screen as I'm talking right now, the website, I always ask you this every time you join us. People go on the website. Other than finding out what the Sharing Network is doing, how can they access it so that they can find out more about, quote unquote, the gift of life?
They can go to our website at njsharingnetwork.org, and we'd like them to register. That's what we want people to do, register to be an organ donor. They can do that right on our website. It takes less than a minute, or they can go to the health app on their iPhone and register there. And what they're doing when they register is they are providing hope to the people that are waiting. And they also are honoring all of those people who have died and have given the gift of life before them. Our Quilts of Love program is probably one of the most special things that we do. Each quilt square was lovingly crafted by a family member, and you could see how personal and unique each one is, representing that person's life. So we have a chance to celebrate all that they did, right up until the greatest thing that they did right in their final hour, which was to save someone else's life. We have 35 of these quilts hanging throughout our building at our headquarters.
Just at the Sharing Network.
Just at the Sharing Network, and there's a quilt program across the country. But when we have a donor family who loses someone, we do offer them the opportunity to make a quilt square rather, and then we have volunteers who put these quilt squares together. And today here at the Transplant Games, we have about 15 or 16 or so of our quilts on display for the public to see, because one of the promises we make to donor families is that we will continue their loved one's legacy alongside with them, and we will never forget them.
One more quick question. These Transplant Games, we call them the 2020 Transplant Games, right? We're here in July in 2021, the Reimagine Games, if you will. It's so interesting. There will be people who will sign up. There will be people who will get engaged and involved just because they're physically here at American Dream.
Yeah, we sure hope so. The Transplant Games is typically held in a convention center, and here we have this amazing opportunity. You know, I came here earlier this week, we were doing some setup, we walked into the building, and all of the digital boards throughout the property said the Transplant Games, said messaging about organ and tissue donation and the power of that gift.
What did that feel like?
It was amazing. I'm getting the chills telling you about it, which means our message has been up all week and it continues through the weekend. In Court A, we have a stage there with programming, all kinds of programming for kids and adults, and people are coming out who, like you said, have maybe never really thought about organ donation. So people are coming together, and then we're able to share that message with them. We're excited about it.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal, Steve. It's a huge deal, especially after all of these years. And the fact that our partners, including you, have stuck with us through the cancellation, the reschedule, the postponement, and planning and replanning. But everybody stuck with us.
Takes more than a village.
It sure does, yes.
Congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
That's right, Joe Roth is here, President and CEO, New Jersey Sharing Network. Sharing Network, we're here at the Transplant Games at American Dream. How pumped are you?
I'm fine. I'm so glad they're happening. It's been a while, 5 years in the making, so I'm ecstatic.
Biggest takeaway when people come here and experience this, what do you hope happens out of these games?
Well, there's increasing the knowledge about organ donation and transplantation. The more people learn about it, the more people know that it's a righteous thing to do and will help increase donation and get more lives saved waiting on the list.
Say something about the sponsors, the people who have contributed to making this possible?
Well, we couldn't do it without them, obviously, and they've been just tremendous, even through the pandemic. You know, the RWJ Barnabas Health and Hackensack Meridian Health and Pfizer and University Hospital and all the different
You know
sponsors.
you can get in trouble by naming them.
I know.
Even though we're going to show a logo, we're going to show a sign with all of those sponsors and underwriters. By the way, in public broadcastings, we could not do what we do without corporate and foundation support. Let me ask you this. We've had so many conversations over the years, and you've always given the statistics. By the way, give New Jersey and nationally again, those who are waiting.
So it's 4,000 people, around 4,000 in New Jersey, and about 107,000 nationally waiting for a transplant.
This is the question I want to ask you. The gift of life. We talk about it, the numbers speak for themselves in terms of the number of people who have been saved. But for you, you actually get close to these people, these family members who have lost a loved one who's given the gift of life, and others who've received the gift of life. As the CEO, but more importantly, just as a really good guy, how do you feel?
That's what gets me up every morning. You come to work, meet these people, work with them, realize, you know, that something we did helped save their life or save their loved one's life, or tragically, someone died, and these wonderful people provided the gift, and then they come and volunteer for us and become part of our family. I mean, it's tremendous. It's just tremendous.
Congratulations to you and the team.
Thanks, Steve. And your help, too, has been wonderful, and your support. We can't thank you for that enough. So thank you.
People say, hey, haven't you done programming on organ and tissue donation? Our response is very simple. While there are people waiting, while there are so many families hoping and praying, if you will, we have a job to do in terms of public awareness. So thank you for allowing us to be part of that mission, Joe.
That's great. Thank you, Steve, too. God bless.